Hello everyone. Today we will discuss the remaining concepts of security. Now let's start with principle. We have already talked about how authentication is the process of identifying a person who is trying to access the application. The entity we receive after authenticating a user is known as principal, or in simple words, an authenticated or logged in user is known as principal. It can be a username, a user ID, or any other unique identifier that can be used to identify a user. When a user logs into Spring's security application, the principal is stored in security context, and such information about the current user, such as their username, roles, and authorities, will be available inside the principal. So, how does Spring Security determine the principal? Well, it all starts with authentication manager. The authentication manager is responsible for authenticating the user based on their credentials such as username and password. Once the user is successfully authenticated, the authentication manager creates an authentication object. That authentication object contains the important information about that user such as username, authorities, roles, and other details. This object is stored in security context, which is accessible throughout the application. Spring Security supports various type of authentication providers such as in-memory, database, or LDAP. So what they do, they verify the user credentials and create the authentication object and return it back. Apart from authentication, the principal also plays a crucial role in authorization. Once the user is authenticated and principal is available in the context, Spring Security uses it to determine whether the user is allowed to do operations in the application. In any application, it is essential to manage access to resources based on the user roles and permissions. Roles represents a set of responsibilities or privileges assigned to a user, while permissions defines what action or operations a user can do. Spring Security handles these through the concept of granted authorities. The granted authority interface represents an authority or privilege granted to a user. In Spring Security, when a user is authenticated, the authentication manager assigns a set of roles to user in the form of granted authorities. These roles determine what the user is allowed to do within the application. In the application, it is crucial to control the access to the different resources based on user roles. Roles represents a set of responsibilities or privileges assigned to a user. With Spring Security, you can define roles and assign them to the user or group of users to determine what they are allowed to do within the application. We can say roles are more on a granular level to control the access of resources. Spring Security provides a robust role based authorization mechanism that allows you to define roles and associate them with the users or groups. By checking a user's role during the authorization process, you can control the access to specific functionality or resources. In some cases, you might need more complex role structure. Spring Security allows you to define role hierarchy as well, where roles can have parent and child relationship also. This feature is useful when you want to grant additional permission to the users with higher level roles without duplicating the role definitions. For example, in our supermarket application example, where clerk can perform, let's say, operation 1 and 2, but the department manager can perform operation 3 and 4 in addition to operation 1 and 2. So that kind of rules can be defined using Spring Security. Spring Security offers a powerful configuration options for the role-based authorization. You can configure the access based on roles allowing or denying certain URLs, endpoints, or resources. This configuration ensures that only users with appropriate roles can access specific functionalities. So these were the core components of Spring Security. Next, we will start implementing the Spring Security in one of the Spring Boot application and see how it helps the developer to configure it with ease. I hope you found this video informative and that it shed some light on the inner workings of Spring Security. If you have any question or suggestion for the videos, please do let me know in the comment section. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification so that you will get all the updated content. Till then, thank you so much for watching. Keep learning.